You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or find us on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
Doug. And we welcome you to episode 154 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We are also on Twitter at WNS Podcast for the main site, WNS Source. Duh, Twitter.
Yeah. I don't know why I make you say that. It's just fun.
We're also on Stitcher. And you can follow Tyler at Tyler_Abear.
Yes.
On Twitter,
Yes.
you can follow Daniel at WNS_Daniel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do all that shit, man.
You haven't made a new Twitter yet?
No.
Oh.
I can't think of a new good name that I want to keep, though. Or I would.
How
I'm
about
debating.
Abby_Doug?
No.
Okay. Well, it was worth a shot. So welcome to the show, everyone. Got a huge show for you as we get ever closer to Christmas. The holiday season is here. What?
Shall we tell everyone what's going to happen, the schedule?
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. Next week's going to be sort of a special. We're not going to, since it's going to be, Christmas Eve and all that, we're going to, do just like a little special. We're not going to talk about Raw or anything like that. So that
I think it's only going to be a tribute to the troops anyway, and we're not really going to. We wouldn't have critiqued that anyway. So.
Yeah, you can't critique the troops. Come on now. So
the show, not the troops.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what I mean though. But
but you shouldn't critique like a charity event or whatever.
Yeah. Because it's all in fun, and there's going to be concerts and comedians and all kinds of stuff. So, but basically, we're gonna kind of take the week off and enjoy time with our family, but we're still going to give you a little something so that,
something.
That way, if you don't want to listen to holiday music, Christmas music that whole week, you'll have something else that you can turn to. We'll still be here for you. Mm-hmm. So, it's just a little something for you guys and gals. And we certainly do appreciate everyone who tunes in and listens.
So basically after today, after this show that you're listening to now, we're not going to be back proper in full form until next year. So.
Yeah, January 1st, that is going to be a Wednesday. We're going to postpone the show.
We're not recording Christmas Eve.
Yeah, they're not going to record Christmas Eve. We're not going to record New Year's Eve.
Right.
Unfortunately, they fall both on Tuesday,
You
which
record
is
and we can give the gift. Nah, we already gave her gifts, but
the gift that keeps on giving.
Mm-hmm.
The weekly installment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Swing on by and get a Tyler Abear hug.
Approved.
So there you go. So, so we still have lots to talk about this week. TLC, Raw, Total Divas, Hot Topics, Q&A. Got to go this weekend to Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. Unfortunately, you guys didn't get to go, but I was fortunate enough to be able to go. They had special guests Michael Cole, Stevie Ray, Shelton Benjamin, the Usos, and the Boogeyman. So just a lot of guests there. Really cool show. Major thanks to those guys for hooking us up with some tickets. Certainly do appreciate it. Yeah, it was all fun.
Well, I would have liked to have gone, but I don't get off of work on Saturdays till like 5:30.
Yeah.
Then that's like that's the drive.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way I could have made it.
You would have had to rush it. So.
Well, even if I rushed it, I couldn't have made it.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
but still, a very
packed house. Huh?
Packed. Yes. There were only a couple of seats that were left open. There was like the row behind me. So, but all in all, it was a really good time. Had a lot of fun.
Also, I guess you want to tell me if people didn't know, they were the Usos were students of Booker's.
Yes. So they were there. They appeared to say, hey, thanks for supporting the product. This is where we got our start. Just really good stuff. Major thanks to the crowd. So it was good stuff. I enjoyed it. So not too bad. But it was a weekend of wrestling for me, I guess. So diving on in, we got to go to Houston on Sunday and have a grand old time.
Yeah.
Tyler was called Majestic because of his beard. Got a lot of looks with that beard?
Okay, well, first we got to start off. Okay, we tried to go to an arcade. We thought it was an old
Thought
style.
it was an arcade.
Yeah, but it's a place that sells stuff for arcades. You have to make an appointment, so we're
Sells
bummed
and
out
rents.
for that.
I'd like to rent it by the quarter.
And then we
Change.
stayed downtown. We found another place we parked, and we ate at an awesome Tex-Mex restaurant.
Fine Mexican
yes,
restaurant.
pretty fine. It was
Very
really
fancy.
good. Guadalajara.
Delicious. If you're
Yeah.
ever in downtown Houston, go to Guadalajara. Amazing stuff. Doug, what were your thoughts on
Shit was
Guadalajara?
on point. Shit
It was
on point.
because then I know at first we were like, "Oh man, this might be out of our price range," and
It was just slightly more expensive than what we're used to.
Yeah.
And, it was totally fine once we got in. It was worth
and
it.
worth it. Yeah, definitely. It was, fancy, and the salsa was awesome. The cheese was great.
I'm not a big like chunky salsa guy, but
Mm-hmm.
that shit was pretty good.
Yeah, so it's a great start to the day. Then since we were there early, we found one.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh,
I'm a big salsa guy, just not a chunky salsa.
Yeah.
right. But we did find a little parking space that we pulled up, and it was like, hey, pay here to get your parking pass. It's $5. Okay, we'll do that. Knock that out. Put the ticket in, and we were there a good hour and a half before people were even let into the arena.
When we parked there, we ate, and we came back, and they had already bumped the price by like $20 to park.
Yeah. So the parking spot that we got for $5 was now $25. So we ended up saving $20 on that. So got very lucky on that
How
one.
the fuck do you guys that live in big cities paying for parking and shit? That is a whole different world for us, man. We don't understand how that shit works.
Yeah, you just park on the street and walk. That's what we do.
You don't have to pay to park anywhere here.
Yeah.
So, well, maybe like by the courthouse. Other than that,
You don't have to pay to park by the courthouse.
well, I think they had some meters over there. I don't know.
If you're gonna park on the street, you can just park in
Yeah.
the lot though.
Yeah, and they have a free lot, so
But we were super close to the venue, like not too far at all. But
right across the street
like,
from
hey,
us.
It was actually we discovered there was actually the same parking lot that we parked in. Tyler and I went to WrestleMania 25, and when we were leaving the Hall of Fame that year, we saw Antonio Cesaro, then Claudio Castagnoli, and Chris Hero, newly again Chris Hero, in that parking lot, and we just saw them walking. Like I guess they had just attended the Hall of Fame just like us, and like Hero was on his phone, and I yelled Claudio out, and he just like raised his arm up like a champ or
What's up?
something. But it was cool.
like
Yeah.
yesterday.
Very good stuff.
We went to the merch booth because
Yeah.
they have a trailer outside that you can do that. And also, I mean, they have it inside, but they weren't letting people in at the time. But
Right.
we got our stuff. I got 2 Daniel Bryan beards because I'm the type that if I get something I like, I want something in the package and something to play with. And also got a Daniel Bryan yes towel. I pretty much wore that beard the whole time. I took it off a few times, but yeah.
It's true. We walked around the park near
my gosh.
Toyota Center.
Yeah, I didn't take
And
that
you
off.
wore that beard too.
Yeah,
You got a
everyone was-
lot of looks,
That was fun.
a lot of chuckles. So I think you brightened a lot of people's day.
Yeah, little kid twice. He came up to me and said I was majestic. I didn't know how to take it because that was kind of weird.
I think he understood. I think he overheard us being like, "Did he say that you looked majestic?" So he came back again to make sure you understood. What he was getting
This
at.
is me saying to you, you
Yeah.
are majestic,
Yes, sir. You are indeed majestic.
You did hear correctly.
I told him thank you, but I was kind of confused.
we were like debating like maybe this was like a slang term that we weren't hip to or something. Like maybe he was like poking fun at you or something. But apparently he looked sincere. I mean,
It was sincere in what he meant as far as majestic, but then we did look up majestic,
Urban Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary. If you're wanting to laugh, go look up majestic.
well, I think it's the majestic.
The majestic. Oh my God. That was an interesting ride home with that discussion. So, anyways,
But the stuff that was going on in the park was interesting. They had like
Yeah.
a few things going on. There was a lot of people there. There was some people dancing or performing.
yeah,
There's
Singing.
Singing. There's a dog park. People with their dogs.
ice rink,
Ice rink. There's people just playing in the park.
a
And,
TV tree.
Yeah, we just went up on a hill because we saw some kids rolling down there, and we're like, let's just go stay on the hill. But I mean, it was fun all in all. So yeah.
Very good time in downtown Houston, and then we got to go inside after the lines wrapped
Past
around
that
the
merch
building.
Booths.
booths. The lines wrapped completely around the buildings. It was insane. But we eventually did get inside. I was very shocked to see the way that the security was handling the situation, turning down people with still photograph cameras. I found that to be very shocking. Like, I understand
it's understood that you don't take video cameras into events. We know that they don't want you taping and distributing that shit. We understand, but these people with just like regular cameras, like for photographs,
like Polaroids or something. Just these guys want to get good shots so they can remember the thing. But if it was visible, then they told people go back to your cars and put
the
that
ones
up.
I saw them like turning away weren't even like these like new school like hybrid cameras where you know that they do video and like still pictures. These were like those like professional photography, like you could tell like it's just one of those ones that take like 500 fucking pictures a click or whatever. But they weren't video and shit on that. So I don't know, maybe that's like their new deal. I don't know.
If it was visible, they told you no. Like someone could have had it in their like a little holster maybe on their hip or like in their jacket because Daniel passed and I passed and like, I mean, they didn't look. I have a phone on my hip, but people could still.
The security there, they were looking for something visible. Like if you had hidden it in a coat pocket or something like that, you would have walked right in. No one would have known.
The kid that was sitting like 2 rows in front of us, like taped the whole thing with his fucking Vita.
Yeah.
Like he had the Vita out, just like.
And at least learn how to stand still, because like this whole like walking and like moving around and
he always did the Randy Orton pose. I don't
understand the people who
he's a hypocrite is what he is.
I don't understand people who do that. Like if it's like a house show, I can see like, okay, that's never going to be reproduced for you to see again. So I can understand like wanting video of that. But like a pay-per-view or like even like dark matches, I understand. But like a pay-per-view where there was no dark match, all there was like what was already going to be on the pre-show anyway.
Right.
Like you're there and you see it, just buy the DVD. That's the video. Like you know that you were there. Just watch the video again.
Or like,
why do you want it from a shittier view is what I'm saying.
For when the Shield comes down, if for those people who are on that row, they're going to be like, dude, look how close I was. So they might want to take a video instead of a picture.
Different.
But
I mean, like this, people were just like videoing.
Film the entrance. And what was funny, what cracked me up.
The entrance on the DVD.
Yeah. What cracked me up was during the main event when he had his Randy Orton t-shirt, John Cena foam hand, and both replica toy belts over his shoulders. He handed his Vita to his mom and was like, here, record this, so that he could do the Orton pose. I was like, really, dude? But anyway,
that's funny. I like that.
As long as he had fun.
He had a blast.
Yeah. There was a lot of, there was a good crowd.
I mean, it was
really happy
fun. Like the only thing, like we got up so many times because the family nexus kept on getting out, but that wasn't too bad compared to the last Raw.
I'd rather do that than have to deal with people who are just like ignorant and annoying.
So it cleaned the palate from the 20th anniversary of Raw. For
Houston wrestling fans were okay with you again.
Yeah, you're all right. So, but let's dive on into TLC. We got to go there, have a lot of fun. The kickoff match, Fandango versus Dolph Ziggler. A traditional kickoff show where it's going to be, it's not the longest match, and it's just something to get the crowd warming up. Fandango ended up getting the victory. I don't really know. Is there anything to talk about it?
No, I was great. I liked it.
Okay. Did you say it was great?
It was great.
It was great. Okay. All right, cool. So Fandango ended up getting the victory, which takes us into TLC. Glad we got some pyro. Very good stuff. The first matchup, got to see CM Punk versus The Shield in a 3-on-1 handicap match, with CM Punk getting the victory. I thought this one was very well done. From where we were sitting, we were opposite side of where the Shield was, so we couldn't see the doctors tending to Roman Reigns, so we could only speculate as to what had happened. But it turns out, he got a big bump on his eye. Yeah. I think they said whenever he got thrown onto the announce table, his eye caught Cole's chair. But I thought the match was very well done, especially for a 3-on-1 handicap match. You have to find a way to divide and conquer, and Shield got their offense, and then Punk got his offense and managed to sneak out a victory after Reigns hit Ambrose with the spear.
Showed, hey, this could show some more dissension.
Yeah.
From the Shield.
Yeah, but it was I thought it was a very good start. How about you, Doug?
It was great. I liked it.
Yeah.
Look, like I don't want to come off like super fake or insincere insincere sounding, but like I'm probably gonna say that for every match because, like, look, I know that like a lot of times on the show we come and we can be like real critical of what we see, and there's something to me that like very special about live like professional wrestling. There's something there that doesn't translate, to the TV. And I mean, yeah, there are some aspects and some ways that a television can like help a match, but mostly I think it's
the feeling, the atmosphere.
It's mostly like the best stuff about like live pro wrestling doesn't necessarily translate to TV, and it's like, yeah, it's just awesome. Like I had a great time. I loved like every match. I was like, that was great. I loved it. Bring on more.
Yeah, and it was the pay-per-view itself didn't have a whole lot of negative things that I found to say. I
liked everything.
Yeah, I would say that this pay-per-view was definitely stronger than many of the past of this year. So
even I know I'm not skipping, but even a match later on, we'll talk about a surprise match that happened or something that got made during the pay-per-view.
Yeah. So
like I just want to say like really quick, I've said this before on this show, but I don't necessarily know how many people believe me when I say this, because we can be so critical sometimes, but I'm a super easy audience for pro wrestling. I'll watch pro wrestling for fucking hours on end. Even really shitty, terrible pro wrestling I can watch for hours on end. And if you couple like me being such an easy audience with like the greatness of live pro wrestling, it's like, yeah, I just sat in my chair and smiled and like took everything in from, just the little stuff of how the crowd is trained to respond to certain things. Like when Big E drops the straps, they know to pop and shit like that. I mean, it's just like,
I'm really glad the Houston crowd was into this and they were vocal. Yeah, there was a few people that
some dissenters, but like, people largely did let them get it started. So.
Even before the show, I know you have people who do the woo and all that stuff out there, but even during the show and before the show, it's still awesome to see everyone go, yes, stand up and do that, just awesome. Like I don't even have I don't even have to like cheer myself to appreciate. Like I can just like watch and like take it in and like just be happy with that. And I don't know, I had an exceptionally good time. Daniel got us these for Christmas presents. He got us tickets, so that was very gracious of him. We thank him.
No problem.
And I had a killer time. Yeah, it was
top notch, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a hell of a way to spend a day with you guys and see a pay-per-view. I had a great
fun.
Great day.
I loved it. So basically, you're gonna be like, so what'd you think? It was like,
it was great.
It was great. I liked it.
Okay, so
live pro wrestling doesn't beat it. Seriously, if you can go to a live show, nothing beats it.
Yeah.
Of any caliber. I mean, like,
and to feel like, the way that you feel during a match, to know that there are 15,000 other people feeling the exact same way. That's just something really cool. Like like you said, you don't get that when you're watching on TV.
Very cool. It's very easy to be like critical and dismissive of what happens when it comes across things like, obviously we weren't like playing off of like facial expressions. So obviously TV helps stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like your view, like you're not getting the angles of like, we didn't know what was going on with Roman Reigns, because another thing about whenever I go to live pro wrestling, I make it a point to watch the ring. I don't watch the screens because I can see that shit on TV at home, you know?
I found myself looking at the screen quite a bit.
I want my experience to be watching the ring, not watching the screens. So like I make it a point to not look at the screens unless it's like a promo in between matches and stuff like that. But I don't like, that's the TV experience. I want the live experience.
Right.
So I kind of lost my point there, but like, yeah, it was great. It was fun.
It was very enjoyable. So, but CM Punk ends up defeating the Shield thanks to a little bit of luck, even though Punk doesn't believe in that. So, next matchup, we got to see AJ Lee going up against Natalya for the Divas Championship. I thought this was probably one of, if not the best Divas match of the year.
It was great. I liked it. If I was gonna nitpick, the one thing I would say was AJ, like, she didn't give it enough time, like selling the bump to the guardrail on the outside. She was a little too quick to recover. Other than that, it was great. I liked it.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable. What about you, Tyler?
I don't know. I don't know what they'll say. I enjoyed it.
Okay. No, it's
so it is.
It was a very enjoyable matchup. Most of the Divas matches this year has just been very quick or very dull. I felt like this one, the crowd was into it. It was, and a lot of people online are even praising this matchup, saying it's, one of the better ones of the year. Yeah, I thought it was a good showing, but AJ Lee ends up retaining.
Well, do you guys feel like? I'm sorry, Tyler, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Like another thing, like another part of the, I guess to me, the atmosphere and all that stuff that like live compared to on TV is like when certain people come out. Like yes, I'm excited, but I meant like I'm pumped. Like when Biggie came out, I was kind of going to the beat and stuff. And I was clapping. I was like, yeah,
this is good stuff.
yeah.
Well, do you guys find what I'm saying to be true also, or do you? I mean.
There is so
there's a lot lost in the translation of like broadcasting the show, like that you don't get that you get live. I mean, like, do you think you could watch this pay-per-view again on DVD and feel differently about it entirely? Because I feel like I probably could, but
yeah.
like,
especially since you have commentary, you
Right.
have the you have the angles, the facial expressions, so there's more to look at.
Right.
But you don't get to be as vocal, because whenever you're in the crowd, you're doing the claps, you're doing the yeses, you're doing, you're being more involved with the event.
Well, I can see that, and I think that's like a great point. I think that's really valid for a lot of people. But I mean, I'm speaking about the match itself. I think loses something.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. It's like it's an intangible thing that you can't describe. You just know that it's lost.
For me, it's one of those things with commentary. Because commentary is supposed to play a big role in telling the story. So whenever you're at one of these live events, you don't have commentary. You're going based on what you see. So that can take a little bit of it away, and then you go and watch it on TV or on DVD, and you hear the importance of what's going on in the match and what it's supposed to mean. And when there's a near fall, the announcers get into it, and that gets you into it. But as you're in the crowd, you're still pumped. But I feel like the commentary is supposed to just play such a major role, that could be part of the missing feeling of a live crowd.
Well, I certainly agree with that, but I'm speaking strictly about like the match itself and the work in the ring, and it's not something that I know how to put into words, and it's not something that I've like found a way to describe. I know that there's something for me that's lost from live to TV.
Right.
But and I mean strictly between the ropes, like the match itself, like the ring work speaking for itself. But of course, like all the things you said, but I don't know. That's just me. Like you could ask me what I think about all these matches. I can say, great, loved it. Great, loved it. I can watch it back on DVD. I may have like a fucking notebook full of like things to say.
And it could be the fact that you have one position. You're staring. You don't get separate angles. So what you see,
I mean, unless you look up on the.
Well, yeah, but like if you're at a house show where they don't do the big screens or something like that, give or take, the depending on what arena you're in. But you have that one angle, and that's your focus. So
see, I don't think it's angles either. I mean, I'm not saying it's something that's like the match is missing. I'm just saying it's something that like the match has that doesn't make it to TV. Not something that you could that's taken away from your experience that adds to it when it gets added back in. I'm saying it's something that's already there that you actually lose from the match whenever it's on TV. And I don't know how to describe it or what I'm trying to say exactly.
It may. I mean, you kind of touched on this whenever we went to one of the house shows, a few years ago, where you talked about a match with Christian, and you said, you see his matches on TV, and you're like, man, he's really good in the ring. But then whenever we watched him live, you're saying, my God, his timing is just amazing. The thing,
his feel, his timing.
Yeah, just all of that. So I mean, maybe that could be it, because you're not getting cuts, and you're not getting extreme zoom ins and zoom outs.
Right.
You're seeing what they're doing,
and only what they're doing,
and not what the cameraman's trying to get you to see.
Right.
So maybe that could be something. I don't know. But
I wish I knew. I wish I could say yes, that's it, or no, that's not it. I wish I knew what I was trying to say.
But you would know if
I hope someone else out there feels the same way. I hope I'm not the only one. Like,
right. So, but all in all, it was very enjoyable. Next matchup, we got to see Big E Langston defeat Damian Sandow for the Intercontinental Championship. I don't think too many people were betting on Sandow to win. But,
I did apparently. I think I picked.
Did you?
I think I picked Sandow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think I picked Big E.
So, but the match, I felt, for what it was pretty good.
Great, Alex.
Yeah. The next matchup, which was more than
honestly, that's when I know that's another appreciation I get from a live show is how a crowd is conditioned to respond to things and how they know to play you. Like
the strap coming down.
Straps come down. Like, okay, nobody bit hard on a false fin or like on a pinfall that whole match, but when he takes the straps down, that's when the fucking crowd
it's
goes,
it's over.
It's like they're going home. It's time to get excited.
It's all business now. Business is about to pick up. So
the little visual cues and shit like that. It's great.
So it was very enjoyable. Had a lot of fun. Next matchup. More than, a lot of people will say that this was the match of the night. I could definitely see their case for this. Cody Rhodes and Goldust going up against Ryback and Curtis Axel, the Real Americans, and Big Show with Rey Mysterio. Doug, do I need to ask you how you felt about this one?
I mean, I'm good. Everything was awesome, and I loved everything for real. But this is like definitely a standout match. This was a lot of fun, and like, it's like. I like just Big Show and Rey Mysterio. Like, I appreciated like how great they are from this match. It's just like the little things that those guys do that you don't pick up on necessarily in the ring. Just like the way like they orchestrate the crowd. Like Ray and Big Show were like such a large part of why the crowd got so hot for this match because they like orchestrated the crowd. Like a lot of times you see like the guy like hanging on the apron, like waiting for the tag or waiting for a spot, but they're like orchestrating their crowd. Ray was like, "No fuckers, it's time to chant, get it in it," and he like wheels you to cheer, like he's like, "No, it's time to cheer, everyone cheer," and people are like, "Oh yeah, we should cheer now."
Yeah,
and, like they play you like a fucking fiddle. It's like great.
I enjoyed the whole match, but I think it got better towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
But like me and Doug were talking, and we were like, "Oh no," because who was it? Real Americans was in there with Goldust and Cody, and they're like, I was like, "Dude," I have a feeling. I was like, "Real Americans there." I was like, "No, that can't happen."
Well, no, he was like, they're gonna do like Ray and Big Show. They're gonna whittle it down to Ray and Big Show
and Cody
versus Cody. And when I was like, no, they're not gonna do that. That's bullshit. They don't want to do face, but sure enough, they did. But it was.
Yeah,
it
worked out fun.
I was thinking the same thing once Americans were out. I was like, really, face versus face? How's that gonna work? But lo and behold, they pulled it off, and this was definitely a standout match for Goldust. I mean, he was in the ring for quite a while, and he put on a great show. It was just an enjoyable night. We're going to be so repetitive on this.
Yeah, it's like you really thought for a while. It was like, oh no, Big Show and Rey Mysterio may get the, you thought that they were going to get the titles and kick out and all that stuff. And I love the between Rey Mysterio and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And the pay-per-view slums for Ryback continue. Yeah. So, but Cody Rhodes and Goldust. Ryback. Cody Rhodes and Goldust.
You know what? I thought they were both totally fine in this match.
Ryback. So that sounds like kind of like a pill you may get for what's it called? Disorder.
Penile.
Erectile dysfunction.
Erectile dysfunction.
Take Rybaxel for that.
So that takes us into the next matchup. R-Truth going up against Brodus Clay.
The two Crunkus entrances, people fucking went off for this.
Oh, I missed it because I went to go get.
You missed the what's up.
I heard it.
Are you there to go stand at the concession stand like all the motherfuckers sitting around us? Are you there to watch the show?
Their 3 beers and chicken strips and everything. Those people need to sit down.
I'm the type of guy who's like, I'm like holding my piss for like the break between the match. I was like, maybe I can run and make it, and I'm not getting up.
Yeah,
fuck it.
It was like you said, the two most hype up entrances that you can have going up against each other.
It was like the best song. they're like two of the best like entrance songs that people love, and like they put them in the same match, and people were like so hyped for the entrances that they burned themselves out on the entrances, and they were kind of dead for the match.
Yeah,
because everyone
well,
was
the
like,
match was also pretty short.
Yeah, but like people were like so like excited
what's
for
up?
What's up? And when like the match comes, they're like, oh, we're fucking tired now.
Yeah, I want to sit down. So, one thing that happened that you said was going to happen and it didn't happen during the tag match, the 4-team elimination match, the move from Goldust that I missed because some idiot was chanting Super Dragon, and I was looking for the idiot, and I missed the move. And he said, "Oh, don't worry, they'll show it on replay," and they didn't show it on replay. I was so sad. I guess we'll have to wait for the DVD. Sad times. Anyways, R-Truth and Brodus Clay, like we said, kind of a short match, but it was more to progress the story of Brodus Clay over anything else. Apparently from the reports that I was reading that Brodus Clay was, going back and forth with Tensai. Tensai was saying, dude, you beat him. Just pin him. Let's get out of here. And, he was refusing to do it. And it eventually led to Tensai walking off. And
Funkadactyls were like, we're going to.
Yeah, they're like, why are you acting like this?
Brodus Clay was the victim.
Sure.
I like how he grabbed the mic like that. He was like, move.
Yo, listen here, man. Main event playa. But R-Truth ended up getting the victory over Brodus Clay, leading to Brodus Clay losing his mind. That takes us into the impromptu matchup that took place during the kickoff. It led during the kickoff because Miz was on the panel, the pre-show panel, kickoff panel, whatever you want to call it, along with Mick Foley and Booker T. And Miz ended up attacking, and we actually got to see that
Kofi,
live.
I think Kofi's the one who actually.
Yeah, Kofi attacked Miz, and they had to be pulled apart by Booker T and Mick Foley, which is really cool to see. Especially since it was like to our left. It was like, oh, it's right there. You're kind of looking around, seeing, who might I know that's around here, and all of a sudden you hear the crowd going, oh, and you turn over and people are just brawling. So it was really cool to see that. And then it was funny because Tyler had his.
Tyler was like pointing it out, and it was like we were like, oh wait, what's going on?
Yeah, and but Tyler pulled up his phone and pulled up YouTube and was watching the pre-show while it was happening. So that was pretty cool.
Delay.
Yeah, like a 30.
Was like, he kept being like, that's not what's happening right now. We can see them.
It was like a 30-second delay. So, but it was really cool. But it set up a match between Kofi and the Miz.
It was great. I loved it.
Whoa. No, you can't just say that.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. It was great.
What was the thing before? Like we talked about before we got there, we made some jokes about about Kofi and Miz, and I don't know what you said. You said you didn't want to see or something like that. I don't know if you said something like that.
No, he was saying, I don't know what he's saying. Something about me watching like a best of either one. I was like, well, I'll watch either a best of either one. I don't. Like I said before, I'm an easy audience. I'll watch whatever.
Yeah, but as far as the matchup, I felt like this was a pretty solid match.
Yeah, it was great.
How about you, Tyler? Kofi and Miz.
I mean, it was all right.
Yeah. Okay.
It was fun being there.
Yeah. So that takes us into the next matchup, another 3-on-1 handicap match. The Wyatt family got a pretty good pop. I'm glad that we did the snaps and claps.
Yeah.
Along with
I expected something just a little different. This is me nitpicking. Because where we were sitting, the light was still on. I was like, those are gonna be completely dark. I was like, I was like,
you can't trust those assholes to like turn the lights on.
Oh no, I fell, my arm. Oh,
I was like, oh dude, it's gonna be so cool. I was actually pumped for it, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
They turn all the lights out in the arena, like people are stealing people's wallets.
Yeah,
girls' butts are getting touched inappropriately.
Yeah, so
you don't
squeeze
know
the
what
shit out of that
but
ass.
it was still really cool to see.
Daniel's ass.
I'm punching Tyler in the face.
So,
blaming it on Daniel.
My bad, Tyler.
Damn it. I took the kid's PSV.
But it was really cool getting to see the Wyatt family make their entrance, and setting it all up and how it looks. On TV, it looks completely dark. Like everything is dark except for the lantern. But, you could see them.
That does like runner lights on, whatever you call them.
Yeah. I know you're pumped. You're ready to hear that bass line. Did that, were you pumped for it? Wasn't it?
I was hoping it would have been just a little more powerful, but
none of the theme songs were loud enough.
R-Truth, I think, was good with that bass and the.
See, I wanted everything to be a little bit louder. Even Big E's, I was like, not loud
Yeah.
enough. That feels like it pops whenever it comes out, but yeah, it wasn't like that.
So, yeah, you gotta like knock us on our ass because like whenever that pyro goes off, damn,
Yeah,
Yes.
just huge. But
hurts my fucking eyes. From way back there, I was like,
so
I think I have sensitive eyes.
so the Wyatt family going up against the yes man himself, Daniel Bryan, crowd on their feet,
Yes.
chanting yes.
I did too. I had the beard on. And
Great.
well, I had the beard off, and you better put that beard on for that match, Tyler. I was like, okay, it was starting to hurt my face, but let me do it.
Really good stuff.
And I drank a soda with that thing on.
Daniel Bryan in this matchup, we've said it before, we will say it again. Great at the big man, little man matchup, and this is exactly what that was. I'm glad that Bray Wyatt did the upside down crab walk or whatever that he did, and the fans even chanted that was creepy.
I thought it was freaky. Was it creepy or
That was freaky.
It might have been both. I don't know. It was hard to. That was
freepy.
Yeah, freepy. So freepy.
Or creepy.
Creepy.
That sounds like
That sounds that sounds a little bit
that
better.
sounds dirty. Creepy.
Free P. So, anyways, the Wyatt family ends up defeating Daniel Bryan. Just really good stuff from both people or both groups of whatever. All four competitors. That takes us into the main event matchup: TLC Randy Orton versus John Cena.
You know what I noticed when they came out, they did the entrance. Everyone booed Randy Orton. John Cena came out. There was a mix of boos and
Oh, yeah.
cheers.
I thought he was like I thought it was almost. I mean, it wasn't like magnanimous, but it was like I thought it was way more cheers than boos.
Cena got the loudest pop of the night, followed very closely by Daniel Bryan, followed very closely by CM Punk. So I think the crowd was really good.
Listen, I love Daniel Bryan. I like CM Punk a lot too. I liked a lot of people on the show, and I had a hell of a lot of fun. And I know a lot of people don't like Cena
Kofi.
for some valid reasons, for some not so valid reasons. But I'm going to tell you this, and you believe it. And if you don't believe it, you go to a show and you experience it for yourself. When Cena comes out into the arena, it does not feel the same as anybody else being out there. You
sit there and just go, wow.
You understand why the show for so long has been all about that one guy, because when he's out, it doesn't feel, sound, nothing like it does for any of the other matches. It's very surreal. Like it's very clear why it's all about him.
It's like, damn.
Yeah.
He gets a reaction,
Yeah.
and that's why they keep him that top guy. But Randy Orton versus John Cena, TLC match. For the hype that built up towards it, I'm glad that we had a clean finish. I'm glad that all the matches in this pay-per-view had a clean finish. But I felt like this one was a little slow-paced, but I wasn't like, oh, this is awful. It was still an enjoyable matchup.
I still really like that. And I know that's the theme of like I'm parroting myself all fucking night so far, but like I'm being sincere, guys. I really did have a spectacular time, and I really did enjoy every fucking match on the card. And that's truly because I love like live shows, and it was awesome. But like I like this match a lot, and I don't know that it would necessarily come to me the same way if I watch it back, but just being there, I liked it a lot.
I remember saying this on the way back, but like I got worried. Just one part I said this to y'all, but I was like that part where he unscrewed the turnbuckle and he was still connected. He was going up. John Cena was going up the ladder, and Randy Orton got him and pulled him. Well, he was still He was holding on to the belts. Or no, it was the ladder.
He was holding on to the top of the ladder.
He was still kind of pulling. He was pulling that, and the handcuffs was on his wrist. I thought that because he was real, you could see him tensing up and all that stuff. I was like, damn, that has to hurt his wrist.
Yeah.
What I thought he was going to do is, that spot, I don't remember which Money in the Bank it was, but you guys, or which, I think it was a Money in the Bank. I think it was his past Money in the
He
Bank.
hit
But,
Big Show with it?
well, no, that spot he did where, I don't know who was on the ladder, but he swung their legs out and then he caught them with an RKO as they were falling.
Huh.
I thought that's the spot they were going to do, but with that, the bottom rope still attached to his wrist, I was like, that looks fucking dangerous. I don't know if I would try that.
Right.
But they didn't. He just did the pull him down into the table. But
Yeah, almost missed that table completely.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we were all shocked for sure, but it makes a lot of sense. I think, especially if you consider like the whole Bryan storyline going here, he's obviously like the next guy, and it makes a lot more sense for him to get his revenge on Orton. If that's what's going to happen, it feels like that's what should happen, and it feels like that's what might happen. You know?
Also, note that Randy Orton got the win clean.
Yes.
And all that stuff. Because there was times where it felt like Cena was going up there and, oh, yeah, Orton just got put through a table. Freaking shenanigans. Something was going to come out. That's what it felt like to me. But Randy Orton got up quicker than I thought and got up there and, you know.
Well, he had to, like, Cena climb. You got to get up as like fast as they climb. So.
Yeah.
And that's the tough thing about two people doing a TLC match as opposed to like a tag team or something like that.
Someone can be like laying in wait.
Yeah, it's like you can alternate, you know, who's going. But you know, no big complaints about this.
It was certainly weird that they brought Vince out, and like you said, they went to black before.
I
Vince
thought
came.
that they had because I saw the logo, but then you know I found out that they continued that going out. So but yeah, it was kind of weird seeing McMahon there. It's like, what was the purpose? We didn't see him on Raw the next night.
Well, it's kind of like the whole like you introducing.
I guess
he's there to make sure
it's
that
the
everything
big thing.
happens.
Oh yeah, unifying the titles. So
well, like we thought for sure they were gonna do a fuck finish somehow because it's like McMahon being there, like with his like recent tension with Triple H. It's like the gun thing. Like you introduce a gun in the first act, it has to go off by the third act. So it's like you bring McMahon out at the top of the show. It's like he has to be involved in the finish somehow. It feels like that's what they were going with.
Right.
But no.
Anyway,
a little few notes that we found out some stuff after when we left. We know a person that was there.
Mm-hmm.
We posted, or you posted, Daniel posted something about how y'all enjoyed the pay-per-view. The guy that we know said that
member of
Doomsday, yes, he said he didn't enjoy it because they took his signs. He was bummed about that. And we found out Victor said he saw on there that says Vince Fears Tex Lone Star, in which that was one of the signs that was taken away and ripped off.
If anybody could get a screen cap of that, we would be like very grateful.
Yeah,
that
would be awesome.
So that was neat.
So very good stuff. Yeah, all in all, great experience at the pay-per-view. I'm glad we got to go.
I had a hell of a time. Thanks for
dude, that was awesome. Yeah, thanks for
Merry
tickets.
Christmas.
America.
So
majestic.
What? Yes, majestic. It was a majestic night. So not the majestic, but just majestic.
It's majestic.
So very good stuff. But diving on into what happened to Raw, I'm just going to go ahead and say this now. This was probably one of the best Raws we've seen in quite a while. You know, I felt like all of the matches were, you know, story driven. It wasn't just, oh, let's just throw these two together and see what happens. You know, everything, just about everything had a purpose on Raw. But we kick things off with Orton coming out, you know, cutting a traditional promo. Cena interrupts him and says, well, hey, you know, I promised Bryan that he'd get a shot at the champion, you know, if I'd won, and I think it's only fair for you to do that. So what do you say? Triple H agreed, and there we have our main event. So we go into the first matchup. We got
do you guys feel like Orton suddenly got motivated out of nowhere? Like he's delivering.
The
a little
tables
more
are turned against me. Y'all don't believe in me.
Well, no, I don't mean from a storyline perspective. I mean like from a personal performance perspective. You feel like he like suddenly found some motivation to like, I don't know.
I think so.
Feels like it, right?
Yeah, you've seen a change in his attitude here lately.
Right.
You are the top guy because you have both belts.
Yeah, like you were supposed to be the guy. So
what is it?
You gotta up your game.
WWE heavyweight,
WWE World Heavyweight Champion, WWE WHC.
Yeah.
So, which that's too long of a name.
Plus, I think it looked cooler with having the two belts.
Yeah,
just having two belts.
I don't know. I could probably see him just saying, you know, it's time for me to carry my belt, and it'd just be the WWE Championship, and that'd just be it. But I know they still want to try and continue the legacy of the World Heavyweight Championship. But we'll have to see where they go with that. But the first matchup, we got to see Big Show and Rey Mysterio going up against Cody Rhodes and Goldust.
Goldust.
Got to see, you know, sort of a more aggressive side from Big Show in this matchup than during the pay-per-view. You know, he was.
I felt like there was like a little bit during the once it got down to them two as the final two teams in the elimination match, I felt like they worked a little heel, not so like flagrant, not like we're also, but like like when you do a face versus face match, like one becomes heel by default, like one has to work a little like
that out.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it happens no matter what. If you go face face, like someone by default has to work a little more heel than the rest. It's just how it works. Yeah, and I feel like that's what they were doing. They're not like, hey, we're assholes.
Help you up.
Now it's just like we're just going to be a little more aggressive on this one. We want to win more, and they well, not to that degree, damn. But yeah, big show.
I like how we were. We already talked about the pay per view, but I liked how when they kept one more time in him, he gave him the fucking
oh my god,
chop,
dude,
5 times.
Those chops were sick. Never want to take one of those, but Big Show and Mysterio do end up getting the victory over Cody Rhodes and Goldust, so you might have to see them being number 1 contenders for the tag team championships.
You don't want a Ryback to verse them?
No. So next up,
get it up, take Ryback.
No. So next up, we got to see...
that's a good spot for both those guys. I mean, they don't have anything else.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with them being tag team.
I'm just making fun of the name.
Yeah. So next up, we got to see Bad News Barrett. This was probably the only thing that I felt didn't serve a purpose on Raw. They're just trying to get this silly little gimmick over, which was just awful. I chuckled a bit at the gavel.
Bad news.
But other than that, this was just pointless. Bad News Barrett saying, "You're not going to win the lotto." Just terrible.
And it was like 505 million or something. 525.
636 million now, son.
We need to get some fucking
in my pocket. Yeah. So.
We need to get some tickets.
Our office bought 80 tickets earlier today.
Damn. How much did you chip in?
That's awesome.
$5.
That ain't bad.
Yeah. It was just $5 from everybody that wanted to participate. Yeah. I think it was like, if we took the cash option, it'd be like $40 million per person.
That's good enough for me.
I know. I was like, oh, come on. That's chump change.
Life-changing money.
It's like 20 more times the money that I'm going to make in my entire lifetime.
That'd be nice to have. So, and then I bought some tickets on the side just for me, just in case.
When do they draw? Wednesday?
Tonight.
At 10 something. But yeah, my dad got he bought 7.
That's how many I got. So nice. All right.
He goes, I'll give you one. Which one you want? I was like, I'll pick H.
Yeah. I don't care if I don't win the lotto, but it would be nice if I did. Tyler's never going to win because he never plays.
No.
So
maybe this one time because my dad gave me one.
I went through this fucking streak of 6 months where I was playing every drawing, but I was paying $20 every drawing. I was like,
oh man.
Yeah. So, I was like, man, you know how much money I'm fucking throwing away on this shit? I never won anything.
And they still haven't fixed our streets with all this money that we're throwing out. God, come on. So,
well, you're not going to donate if you win. Donate some money to Beaumont? No.
No.
I'm out of here.
Nope, not at all. So next up, we got to see Dolph Ziggler versus Fandango in a rematch from the kickoff show. This time, Ziggler gets the win, saying, and they were talking about on the commentary that Ziggler wants to have a better year for 2014.
That's good.
So maybe he's out of the quote unquote doghouse from earlier. So yeah, not too bad. The Dallas crowd was great. They were just as exciting as in Houston. They, one thing that I liked, like during the pay-per-view, the Houston crowd, they tried to get some stupid chants going, but it fizzled out really quickly.
Yeah,
same with Dallas here. Like they chanted when they needed to, they clapped when they needed to, they cheered, they booed when they needed to. It was really good stuff.
Yeah, big ups to Houston because last time y'all fucking sucked. But y'all were great.
Or at least the 4 assholes standing next to us.
The whole crowd did kind of suck last time. It was just amplified by the people.
It was a crappy show too. Yeah. It wasn't the best. But, what kind of 20th anniversary is that? So
I thought it was fine. It's just not what the people expected. And that's why they kind of.
But this show was great.
Yeah, big ups to the Houston crowd.
Yeah, as well as Dallas for Raw. So next up, we got to see Big E Langston teaming up with Mark Henry going up against the Real Americans. I thought these 4 guys did a really good job. Big E and Mark Henry ended up getting the victory.
What's that?
Look, I'm never going to speak ill of Mark Henry. You can just fucking forget about that.
What's the meme? That's
Carlton and Uncle Phil.
Yeah.
From Fresh Prince. Yeah. Big E and Mark Henry. Good stuff. So next up, we got to see Ryback, because I know Tyler loves the name, going up against Tons of Funk. This was another short matchup just to tell the story for, or was it? Yeah, this was it.
Win.
Tons of Funk It was another short matchup.
Truth on
Tensai,
commentary, I think.
yeah, R-Truth and Xavier Woods on commentary. The only complaint that I had about this Raw was the commentary, like taking the selfies and just being they were being a distraction.
First of all, is that even if you're not taking a picture of just yourself? Does that even qualify as a selfie? I thought
It's
a selfie is. Yeah, I think
selfie is you get
you take it
camera.
yourself.
Yeah,
of
but
yourself.
it's just pretty much your head and your shoulders. I think
it's just a picture of you that you took yourself.
Yeah,
So it's not really a selfie if it's like
group photo.
right. You just are the guy who held the camera.
Yeah.
So
Anywho.
it's like really annoying when like they don't even get to like the vernacular, right? I don't
they're
know.
trying to be hip. They're trying to be hip and cool.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, dude,
What's
fucking
up?
JBL is the worst at being cool. JBL is almost as bad as
What's up?
HBK at like they're trying to be cool shit.
Come on, Michael. When I say ooze, you say.
Oh.
No, but JBL talking about Rick Ross. Like, let me tell you something. I don't believe for a motherfucking second that JBL knows a goddamn thing about Rick Ross. Somebody fed him in this fucking earpiece. Hey, say Mark Henry looks like Rick Ross. I don't fucking believe. I'll bet all my money he doesn't know who the fuck Rick Ross is.
Oh, JBL, do you know what? Yeah, I got one of his albums
This
in
guy
my car.
looks like Mark Henry. What do you want me to say?
I'm down with Rick Ross. Shut up.
False.
Anywho, Ryback will end up defeating Tons of Funk after Tensai was trying to get a tag for Brodus Clay. Brodus Clay turns around and is like, I'm out later. Main event player. And main event play up.
Look, it is a crime that Brodus Clay has introduced the gear with the spikes on it, and he hasn't worn them in like weeks. That is a fucking crime. Make Mark Henry put the dinosaur spikes. I mean,
Brodus Clay?
Brodus Clay. Make him put the gear with the spikes back on.
Okay.
You
That's
could
a
just be an
crime.
angry dinosaur.
Angry Funkasaurus. But after the matchup, instead of helping Tensai, Brodus Clay decides to attack Tensai, and then he walks out. And then Xavier Woods and R-Truth come to the aid, sort of Tensai, long enough for him to roll out of the ring and said, "Hey, Funkadactyls, y'all haven't had much chance to dance lately. How about you dance with us? Forget about Tensai laying on the ground in pain. Come dance with us." Wow.
See, I thought that was a skeezy move on their part. I was like, it didn't feel like the right thing to do, guys.
Yeah. It's like, look, I know your boy just got beat up and everything, but hey, I'm
He's
looking to
beat up,
dance.
bit
You're
up,
looking to dance.
It's
That's what you do,
It was
right?
basically like, I know you just broke up with your boyfriend, but do you want to fuck? Or that was kind of like what it was, right?
Are you getting on this or what?
DTF.
So, it's just, yeah,
They're DTF.
sure.
It just felt wrong. Like they had like the moral high ground this whole feud so far. They were right, but they like crossed the line right there. And I was like, I can't support you
You
guys.
haven't had much to dance about,
Dude.
but we're looking to dance.
Dude, just get your mind out of the gutter. It's down to funk.
Yes, that's exactly what. Thank you for clarifying that.
Down to funk.
That was clever, Avery. I'm gonna give you props on that.
The one time.
That's your one joke for the month. So next up we got to see CM Punk come out, take a shot sort of at Triple H, asking him to come out. Instead, he gets HBK, unscheduled.
HB Shizzle.
HB Shizzle, the 48-year-old man, the man-child. Yeah. So
Another thing I'm gonna say about JBL, and it only reminded me because of the HB Shizzle thing, is like JBL telling anybody else that they're the whitest white dude ever. Come the fuck on. Come the fuck on. JBL doesn't get to tell anybody they're the whitest white dude ever.
what's up? What's up? Oh, what's up? Fear the Bull.
He looks like Rick Ross.
So, anyway, CM Punk saying, the inner child in me, the 15-year-old fan, is still like geeking out that you gave me a super kick. I'm gonna let it slide this time. Do it again. That's your ass. And then, they sort of hinted. I don't know. The fans were chanting one more match. CM Punk played it off. I was saying, don't worry, I still have plenty of matches left to have.
I thought he was clever there.
Yeah, it was a nice little wink to the fans, like, oh,
One more match. Come on, guys.
come on, I'm here for another year or so. But it was just really funny to see that. But HBK decided to introduce his opponent, which was the Shield, and as they were coming down, you see CM Punk kind of mouthing word, like the mic doesn't really pick up on it, but you can hear foresee CM Punk saying one more match. Think about it, one more match to HBK. So the question is, was Punk asking for one more match? And if yes, would you guys like to see that happen? Should it happen? Something along that line.
I'd like to see the match, but there's a larger part of me that wants like one guy to fucking walk away when it's time to walk away.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, Edge did it, but like it was kind of like Edge was like it was like a medical retirement almost, you know. But like HBK went out on his fucking terms. He said he wasn't gonna get back in the ring anymore. Like I want one fucking guy to be like, no, when it's time to hang it up.
Mm-hmm. And he's been that.
He has been, you know, he's been true to his word so far, but it only takes once to not be true to your word anymore.
And they always say, never say never.
They always say, never say never. Look, I mean, because like I love Ric Flair and I love Hulk Hogan. I love them both. I know it's like really cool to shit on Hulk Hogan these days, but I love Hulk Hogan. I grew up a Hulkamaniac. I love Ric Flair, but it's fucking painful to see these guys these days, you know?
Yeah.
Like Sean could be the guy who breaks that fucking mold, you know? It's like,
I'm actually done this time. Or Edge is definitely going to be one of those.
Yeah,
guys.
but his hand was forced. It was like a medical retirement, basically.
HBK hasn't wrestled. Like, he did those, like, moves, whatever, but, like...
That's what I'm saying.
Referee
it's fine. What he's done so far is fine. Like, you can stay around.
Same as Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine, but, like, well, Stone Cold feels like it was medical, too, almost, you know?
Mm-hmm. But now that he's had what he needed to have, and him saying, "Oh, I'm feeling better than I ever have," and you know, people were like, "Oh, come on, you know, just one more match, just do it. We want that one last, you know, farewell."
Would I like to see it? Sure. Do I think he could pull it off? Yeah, sure, absolutely.
He's the showstopper,
right? But like, a larger part of me wants like a guy to go out on his terms and not be like a 70-year-old man in my fucking ring, like, you know, looking like shit.
What's so funny there, Tyler? You all right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
My guest is making us laugh.
But that guest is next week, asshole. Kayfabe, motherfucker.
So next up, we got to see the Shield going up against CM Punk and the Usos, voted by the fans. You know, another excellent matchup by the Shield, and you know, CM Punk and Usos put on a great performance as well. But Shield ended up getting the victory on this one. And I like the fact that the Shield is getting the slow disintegration. Yeah. You know, it's like
you don't see that often.
You know, everyone wants it now. Let's do it now.
Get over with.
You know, oh, I'm tired of this. Blah blah blah.
I think they've done a lot of stuff right when it comes to the Shield.
Yes, and
they've done almost everything right with the Shield.
Yeah, and the fact that they're doing, you know, one week there's a little slip of tension, then the next week they're like, all right, we talked everything out. We're back to normal, you know, let's go back to kicking ass. And then the next week they'll be like, oh, dude, we slipped up again. What's going on, you know? So I'm liking it. I hope it continues. Maybe, I don't know, come Royal Rumble, which is 7 weeks away, by the way. So got plenty of time to build for that. So, but the Shield do end up getting the victory. And we did get
They need that break, though, between pay-per-views. I'm glad that we've got a break.
Yeah.
As fun as TLC was, and I was so fucking happy to be there, don't get me wrong, but it's like, it's good that they have like some space.
Mm-hmm. So next up, we got to see the Wyatt family delivering a promo. Bray Wyatt, you know, talking about how Daniel Bryan rejected his offer to join them, and that he now knows what he has to do, and that he is sorry that he questioned Sister Abigail. So, you know, creepy stuff, but good. Next up, we got to see AJ Lee, Tamina, and Alicia Fox going up against the Bellas and Natalya. Short matchup, but an insane super kick from Tamina to Brie. Made me think.
Pretty sure it was Nikki.
Oh, was it?
Pretty sure it was Nikki.
Oh, I thought it was Brie, but who knows?
If you watch Total Divas more, it would be more.
Yeah, you would know.
You would know. Did she have larger assets or smaller? Okay, well then it was Nikki. Anywho,
I may be wrong, but I want to say it was Nikki. But like, she got kicked in the face. She bumped and she got pinned and everything, but she didn't take her fucking hand off her face though.
Yeah, I was thinking that could have been like a broken nose or something.
Even when they were like filming them, they were like doing the spot where they're like looking up the ramp to be like,
yeah, oh, it's okay, we'll get them next time.
Right,
she's like,
she's covering her face the whole
we've got a problem here. Yeah. So, yeah, but AJ Lee, Tamina, and Alicia Fox, who was once face, now heel again, and then face and heel. They end up getting the victory.
Whatever they need.
Whatever
from her.
it is, it's whatever they need her to be. She's going to go out there and do it. And that takes us into the main event of the evening. Excellent matchup. Should be a contender for match of the year. Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton. Amazing matchup. They went, I believe, 33, 35 minutes, something like that. Just really good stuff from these two. We saw a lot of, normally we see like the cookie cutter matchups where they do their, they all do their regular spots and then they go home and, sends everyone home happy. We got that plus a lot of other stuff. We got to see submission attempts by Daniel Bryan, multiple submission attempts, a lot of counters. We saw Randy Orton bite Daniel Bryan. We saw Daniel Bryan bite Randy Orton. Just a really good match. They told a really good story with Orton hurting Bryan's elbow. Just really good stuff. What about you guys?
So fucking good. So fucking good. Like legitimately good. Not like it was a good TV match, or was it? No, it was just legitimately.
I wish I
like,
would have
really
seen
great.
it. I wish I could have seen it.
It was awesome. Like they did so many little things. Like Bryan selling was great. Orton doing a lot of little stuff that added. Like Daniel mentions the bite, and then they call back to the bite later in the match with Bryan biting him back in the face.
Mm-hmm.
It was so fucking good. Like legitimately good.
And even Orton's ring work with the referee, like whenever he had Bryan up on the apron, and the ref's like, "Come on, Orton, get him in." And he's like, "Oh, I'll get him in." He goes for the DDT off the second rope like he normally does, and then he looks at the referee and he goes, "You said get him in," and then does the DDT. So it was just the little things that they added to it. It was just so good, so enjoyable. If you missed it, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Just can't say enough good things about this matchup. The match ended with Randy Orton delivering a low blow to Daniel Bryan. It's understandable. It makes sense. You don't want both people to lose, or lose any steam. And it shows, it furthers the storyline that they added earlier in the night that Orton cannot beat Daniel Bryan clean. So it's gonna,
like, for people that have been so upset with Bryan like being out of the main event, they firmly established in canon, in storyline, they've firmly established that not only can Orton not beat Bryan, but Cena can't beat him either.
Yeah.
He's beat both of them legitimately.
yes.
So even though he's not in that spot right now, they've established in canon, like it's understood that neither of those guys can beat Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
In which they're gonna
Not that they can, but neither of them have.
Right. They're gonna visit that down the road. Like they're gonna have John Cena and Daniel Bryan down the road, I would assume.
To me, that when they started Raw and Orton came out and he was standing in between Cena and Bryan, I was thinking, oh, that could be potential for a Royal Rumble main event. Like they
See them going triple threat.
yeah. So that way, Bryan gets the championship rematch that he deserves, or a championship match he deserves, and Cena gets to get his rematch. Or you could do Cena versus Orton for the title, since Cena wants to cash in his rematch clause, and Daniel Bryan possibly wins the Royal Rumble.
I mean, it's clearly the story. Like, either the story, I mean, Bryan has to triumph over Orton. That's just like finishing the story you already started, right? Has to happen. It's like not a question of if, it's when, right? Because that's the story you've already started, so you have to pay that off.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's unclear to me at this time if they want to go, he's going to beat him now, and then they're going to revisit the Cena Bryan stuff that it looked like they wanted to do before Cena was hurt and they had to yank it.
Yeah.
Or if it's a even longer payoff with them actually, like Bryan triumphing at like Mania or something. I don't know. I can't tell, but either way, I'm okay with it.
Okay, but the match does end in disqualification after the low blow by Orton. John Cena comes out to Daniel Bryan's aid, attacks Randy Orton, fends him off, and is like, hey, get a doctor in here. We gotta check on this guy, and then gets laid out by Randy Orton, where he holds both titles over the ring, over both men in the ring. So all in all, very strong Raw, great, enjoyable pay-per-view. It was a good day.
Yeah.
Sunday and Monday, good times. So
Very nice.
very nice. High five. So good stuff. And speaking of good stuff, I'll let you guys take it away.
And now, Total Divas with Doug and Tyler. Mostly Doug.
No wonder people call you fat on Twitter.
Shut up! I have to say, I feel like a real diva.
You are a grown-ass woman.
Hey, to tell you guys, I didn't catch it this week. Well, here's the fuck. Well, listen. We were driving. It's aired on Sunday. We didn't get back till midnight on Sunday. I don't own a DVR or any of that shit. Like, and they haven't replayed it since, so I haven't got a chance. I was just driving back from the pay-per-view. It's not like I just decided to not watch it for the week, you know. But was it? Did it end up being the?
Yes, it was.
So it's not coming back till March.
Yeah.
So tell us what the fuck
March.
happened, Abrams.
Okay.
We have to watch it. It's all you.
Oh,
Mostly Tyler. Mostly Tyler.
Well, oh, hang on.
It's the first time I've done it by myself.
And now, Total Divas with Tyler.
And some Doug.
Mostly Tyler.
Mostly Tyler.
I'll try to do it justice by myself, but
There
okay.
you go.
I don't even know what happens because I haven't read the report or anything. So enlighten me.
So, okay. Natalia, Natty.
Let me
wakes
guess. Let me guess. You say somebody. I'm going to try to guess what happens, and then you tell us anyway. Okay.
Up, okay.
Natalia whined about some shit and made her look like the worst person ever. Like she was totally whiny about something that is like not even like something to be so fucking whiny about. Now go ahead, tell me I'm right.
So, okay. Yeah, you're pretty much right. So she wakes up. They're in the hotel room, her and TJ, and I don't know if it's Bree or someone. I don't know. Yeah, Stephanie McMahon calls her. I'm like, hey, I got your messages. Yeah, we need to talk. She don't remember. She drunk. I can't talk. She drunk. Called her. Drunk. I can't talk. I'm drunk. What are you talking about? So she don't know what she said.
she drunk.
She
Awesome.
drunk. She's drunk.
That's our new
I'm
lingo.
drunk. So yeah, so throughout the whole episode, she was talking to people like they're like, I don't know if it's Bree
Trying
or
to like
Nikki.
figure out what she said.
Yeah, Bree. I think Bree was like, "Oh, you did Bree mode last night," and I was like, "I don't remember all this stuff." And then
Can we do a callback that Bree never goes into Bree mode? It's always Nikki that goes into Bree mode.
like Bree mode happened once.
I think it was Nikki that goes into Bree mode.
And I think
Who was the one that fell down?
It was Nikki.
I think TJ was like, just send her some flowers and some cards and just apologize. So she was freaking out the whole time. She's like, my future is in jeopardy and all that stuff. And then it just lead up like to like her just go like worried the whole time. And she finally talks to Stephanie McMahon and she played the messages back. And she played each of the messages, like 6 or 7. And each time she replayed each message like in order, it sounded like she got like more drunk like each time. Like, cause she's like, she complained about she wants a run with the Divas title and all that stuff, and it finally got to her saying, "I'm in my panties." She drunked. So she put her head down, and it was so funny because Stephanie was laughing at her, and Natalia was just embarrassed and all that stuff. And it's like, if you have a problem, just tell me. And then she explained, that she wants to be Divas champion, and she goes, Stephanie was like, you are going to be Divas champion one of these times. What? Does me explain all
I keep
stuff?
hearing the I'm in my panties.
My panties. So, but yeah, it's like, Natty, you can call. Oh, he lost it. I'm in my
We're
panties.
losing Doug.
But because this happened in New Orleans, first before a Raw event or whatever.
Just imagine getting a call from one of your friends being like, "Hey man, I'm in my panties right now."
I'm gonna start leaving messages on both of y'all's phones like that. Hey, I'm in my panties.
But Stephanie's like, you can call and talk to me
Fucking playing
anytime.
Angry Birds right now.
What?
Yeah, he's playing it.
It better be Star Wars Angry Birds at least.
I do have Star Wars Angry Birds actually.
Did it?
This one's seasons.
But that was pretty much it.
The fuck are you, mysterious guest? What are you playing?
What are we playing? But that was it for that one. And
He wants to know how to win Kings of Leon tickets.
is that what he's texting you? Is that what he's texting? Oh.
Good to know it's something important.
So there was two
So Whisper in his ear, he's right fucking there.
kind of same themed, or two storylines were kind of like the same. One of them was Daniel Bryan and Brie. No, there's three storylines that were kind of the same. But it pretty much Daniel Bryan surprised her and proposed to her. But they had this.
That's right. That was it super sweet or was
Yeah,
it
it was. I don't know where
ripped?
they were, but like that is big mountain, like this hill with like,
Well, I heard
like trees and everything.
He told the story on Stone Cold's
I was listening to
podcast.
some of that. It was like California.
Yeah. It was like a hiking trail or something.
Yeah. But it was romantic and like awesome because they walked after that happened. He gave a speech, like said her name, and it was awesome. And so they walked a little further, and in the middle of the woods, they had lights strung up in the woods, and they had tables and stuff. It was cool. And both the families were there. That's the first time they met each other. And yeah, that's about it on that one. That kind of like plays into a little bit of the Nikki storyline, which was John Cena and Nikki. And Nikki kind of put off that, she don't want kids because John Cena doesn't want kids at all. At all. Not even in the
Period.
future. Not even in the future. He doesn't, like he says he lives a selfish lifestyle. Because her friends, he paid for all her friends to fly in and all that stuff. And like she was so excited doing all this stuff. And they talked to her and like, oh, he doesn't want to do this and all. So they finally sat down for dinner. And they talked to him. They kind of like grilled him. Like,
Her friends.
Yeah.
Were they just like her hometown friends or something?
College friends and stuff like
Okay.
that. And they all worked at Hooters together. And
In their panties.
their panties. But yeah, and John Cena explained to him why he doesn't want kids. It's like, he's seen, by the time if he has kids now, he won't probably like be around them that much until like he's 10 and all that stuff because of his schedule. And he says he's met the kids of like, wrestlers and stuff and how they are. He says he lives a selfish lifestyle and he doesn't want kids.
Right.
And, with all the stuff going on with Brie, that's got Nikki thinking all that stuff. And, she finally talks to John. And he goes, we're going to have this conversation. And he goes, I'm going to choose my words carefully. He's like, I can't give you that. And they were talking about the stuff. And then, boom, it's like kind of like a to be continued. You'll find out what happens on the next season of.
So we have to wait till March.
No! And now this one. I have a little more to say about this
Well,
one.
why didn't you leave the cliffhanger for the last one to say?
I know I should have said that. Sorry. Whatever. I wasn't thinking. I just had to say it. Sorry. Whatever. I'm not. Another storyline with marriage and all that stuff was Eva Marie.
Oh, she took that dude, the donuts
yeah.
guy home, right?
Well, okay. We don't know too
Donuts.
much about this
He
guy.
brought her donuts
Oh,
at
yeah.
an engagement ring.
We don't know too much about him.
His family
but,
doesn't. Her family doesn't apparently either.
Yeah. Well, they go over there, and the first night, introduce the guy and all that stuff, and they're talking about different things. The dad doesn't like his nose ring. The brothers were kind of dicks, in my opinion.
Was he douchey or were they?
He
assholes?
wasn't douchey. I mean, they could have cut some clips up and some things that we didn't
Right.
see, but the dude was really quiet and he's very polite when he's talking to him. The brothers kind of grilled him like, we have this guy just because he had pants on, but he had a jacket on, and like I don't think he had a shirt because I could be wrong, but it was kind of like the zipper was like in the middle and you see his chest. The guy was like, he doesn't have a shirt on, like out of nowhere. I was like, you're being a dick. The brother's being a dick.
So basically, they were just mostly pissed because he proposed before he like went and got the blessing.
Yeah, but they didn't do that the first night. They come back and then they sat down and talked and all that stuff. Because it was awkward the first night because the brothers got up and just walked away because they were being dicks, but they're being overprotective.
because they didn't like how he was dressed.
Yeah, at first. But like what I found out on the second day is Eva Marie has been through this before where she like found a guy and then
He
married
brings her
him.
donuts, and all of a sudden they're
Yes.
engaged.
Yeah, she's in her panties.
No, it was kolaches for that day.
But
Got
no.
drunked and
Drunk. But no, like, and yeah, she got married and then had a bad divorce and all that stuff. So
Yeah, I think they mentioned that earlier, huh? No, I don't
nah,
remember.
but they mentioned that again. But he asks or for their blessing and all that stuff. And they're like, what? And then they showed a ring. He's like, so you come over, and they get the brothers like, so you come over to my dad's house, and you tell him that you're gonna marry his daughter. And they were just all grilling him. Like, the dude was just being polite. He was responding to him. He didn't, like, get mad or anything. Because, like, I understand their frustrations. Almost because they're trying to protect, Ava.
Did they look like little, like, wimpy bitches, though? Because he was a pretty swole dude. Does it look like he could take him? Like, they were getting, like, running off at the mouth, but he probably could have just slapped him if he wanted to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like and the dad was like, no, just like he like gripes like, no, just no. And Eva started to cry. It's like, well, at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And like they walked off, and he goes, oh, just walk off. The brother's like, just walk off. Of course it's his influence, and they just attacked him out of nowhere. I was like, wow, y'all are being a little. I understand that you're trying to protect her, but you're being bitches to that dude, and like you don't even know him, and like he's being polite. I mean, but that could be like.
What about the mom?
The mom didn't really say anything at all. She did say something at the end because they got their stuff and they left the house. And the brothers was like, well, I don't get see my sister. You're gonna take my sister away from us. I'm like, and Ava was like, well, it's your fault that you don't see me. And then they shut up. But then the mom came running, and it's like, I don't want to see you leave and all this stuff. And it's like, I know your brother's just overly protective, but they still love you and all that stuff. And
Also, I'm in my panties.
I'm in my panties. So I don't know. It ended up they left and they said they were gonna elope, and that didn't happen. She, she's like, I love my parents. I know my dad wants to walk me down the aisle. So the guy was very
Just
nice.
not with you, babe.
The guy was very nice. He was like, we can get married now. We can go to what's it called, a court, or I can wait how long you want, and we can get married. It doesn't matter to me.
I want to bring you donuts every day for the rest of my life.
But like they made Yeah. They made this guy look good though. Like he didn't look like a dick. I mean, of course, people may look like he may look like a douche because what he wears, but he was very nice. Actually, the brothers came off looking like douches.
So was JoJo in this episode at all?
Nope. Nope.
Good thing she's featured on the show.
Yeah. She was like, she only like big parts in like the first few episodes, but. So the things to take from this episode,
Wait, so is that all of them?
yeah, drunked in her panties, and
Drunked.
the brothers are douches.
Drunked in her panties. All right.
Brothers are douches.
Well, thank you very much for that, Tyler. Certainly do appreciate it.
Try
Good
my
job.
best.
Sorry for dropping the ball. Full Total Divas will be back in March.
Back in
This
full
segment
swing.
will
Get
be back
drunked.
in March.
You'll get to hear the jingle again. So the much requested jingle. So time to move into some hot topics for you guys. We want to send a special good luck to our buddy Rockstar Robbie from Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. He's actually traveling with the WWE this week. He's going to be in San Antonio and Corpus Christi. He's done a lot of backstage segments. He's been a security guard and stuff like that. So who knows? Maybe we'll get to see him on there. So be on the lookout for that. And Tyler mentioned this on or he put this down on the board, but something about Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo is they're doing something with the WWE. I guess it's a new DVD that's coming out soon. They didn't give a time period, but they showed Scooby and Shaggy. They're wrestling in a WWE ring. They're getting ready for WrestleMania. Of course, like some weird monster bear is in there.
A bear?
Yeah, and they showed well, they had the video or the trailer, and they announced all the people that are going to be in it, like John Cena, Sin Cara, Brodus Clay, AJ Lee, Santino, and Vince McMahon.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm going to get it.
Well, cool stuff. Have to be on the lookout for that.
You saw John Cena doing a 5-knuckle shuffle to the bear. He's like, "You can't see me," and then just hit
God.
the bear. It's like, yeah,
Really?
So,
yeah.
last little bit of hot topic news. Really cool stuff. Really exciting. This week we celebrated our 3rd year of doing this podcast. Really cool stuff. Looking forward to our 4th year. Hopefully it's going to be bigger and better than ever. We also surpassed 4,000 likes on Facebook.
Nice.
So really cool stuff. Thank you everybody
Give
who's
us
ever
props.
supported us from the pilot episode all the way up to now. If you've listened to our episodes, we certainly do appreciate it. Really cool stuff. So, yeah, so good stuff. So like I said, next week we're going to have a nice little Christmas special for you. But it's time to move into the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions, our answers. I felt like we had another question asked, but I couldn't find it. But this question is coming to us from Ben saying, this isn't a wrestling question in any sort of way, but now that the WNS podcast has turned 3, how has making the podcast affected your lives?
We stopped shitting our pants.
I mean, there's some cool things that have happened. I don't know how like big they affected our lives. We've got some relationships with like the local wrestlers and like the organizations, and we've met some cool. Well, we met cool people. We've also talked to people on the internet, but we're gonna listeners and all that stuff. But I don't know what else.
we've gotten to interview some really cool people, like people we never thought we would ever have a chance to talk to. Just really cool stuff. And Mick Foley, Diamond Dallas Page, just all those cool people. It's just really cool. And like we said a few episodes, it's nice that we get to form this little community, like with David and his comics, to Eric and his championship belts.
That's
just
freaking cool.
All these people that we've sort of met or come in contact or encountered over the past 3 years. It's just really cool stuff. I'm really glad that we've gotten to do it. With our logo, we have an identity now. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's really cool. It doesn't feel like it's been 3 years, and I enjoy doing it. This is something that, we don't get paid to do this, and we're just
3 guys just shooting the shit.
Exactly.
Drunked.
And it's just we get drunked. So it's been a really amazing ride, and I hope it continues for a long time. Bigger and better stars. Anything from you?
Yeah, I mean, what you guys said. I mean, I would just be redundant saying the same stuff, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I think it will continue to be a lot of fun for us, and it's something I honestly look forward to every week. Coming in here to hang out with you guys and getting to talk to you, and I really enjoy hearing from the people who we hear from on a regular basis, and even the people who check in every now and again with us. That's really cool too. And I mean, you mentioned some guys. We form relationships like John and Eric, and it's NightmareProWrestling.com, AsteroidBeltCompany.com. You can go check those guys out over there. But yeah, it's cool. Also, you mentioned just because you mentioned it, the logo. Everybody's shirt who was supposed to get one from the promo John Dynamite thing has been shipped out for at least a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks now. So
it is a lot of international.
It is a lot of international, and I didn't ship it we normally ship it because it's so fucking expensive to ship them that way. But if you guys can just drop us a message so we know that you got it or whatever, I don't know,
be on the lookout.
Yeah, just let us know whatever if you get it or not, so I know, for peace of mind.
Yeah. So there you go. So thank you for the question. Thank you for the memories for everyone. We certainly do appreciate it. 3 years gone by.
There's more years to come.
I certainly hope so. It's going to be definitely a lot of fun. So we'll have to see who we can get on for our 4th year as we enter 2014.
Hell yeah.
Gonna be first, you can tune in next week to our anniversary / Christmas special, where we're going to bring you at least a couple of very special mystery guests.
Yeah, very cool stuff. So be on the lookout for that, and we'll see you in 2014. For the podcast crew, well, we got to plug our stuff. Submit your questions. Head on over our YouTube page, WNS Video. Speaking of our YouTube video, WNS Video, I've gone through our page and sort of updated a lot of stuff. So we're trying to get a little bit more content. I also, I asked for a new video camera for Christmas so that I can sort of document our trip to WrestleMania. And then, from that, I'm going to try and get more videos up on YouTube, not just the podcast, so that maybe we can get some followers on there. So that'd be really cool.
So inevitably we're always somewhere doing something. We're it would have been so great if we would have had something to document that moment for the listeners. But we're always oh well, fuck it. But
yeah,
I don't know, maybe in the future.
So hopefully in the year 2014 we'll be able to push out some really cool videos for you guys or something like that. I know we've gotten tons of requests to do a video podcast episode, so who knows, maybe that could be in the future.
Just
one
the
day.
upload times on that is enough as a nightmare. You'd have to stream it.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to. That's one of the features on YouTube that you can actually do. You can do that. But the thing would be how we'd have to hook up 3 microphones to whatever source that we're using, and it would be
Your rock band mic won't work.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what we can do as far as that. But submit your questions on our YouTube page, WNS Video. Subscribe to us on there. Hit us up on WrestlingNewsSource.com, our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. Also WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook. Subscribe to our show on iTunes, searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We're also on Twitter at WNS Podcast, and for the main site, WNS Source, we're in our panties.
Yeah, they're both individually on Twitter. I may be again eventually. Tyler is at Tyler_Abear. He says he's not tweeting until he gets 1 million followers, just like CM Punk. So go follow him. And
Come on.
WNS_Daniel for those guys. We're also on Stitcher. Go rate and review and subscribe over there as well, please. It means a lot.
And speaking of Stitcher, they are having the 2013 Stitcher Awards, and hopefully we got enough nominations to get us on the ballot. So if that happens, if we get nominated for, best new show, best anything, we would greatly appreciate your support and votes on stuff like that. I believe they said you can vote once per day or something like that. So the more people we get to help us out with that, that would be just absolutely awesome.
There's the nomination period over already.
I think there's a couple days left.
Go try and nominate us if you can.
Yeah,
So,
we appreciate it.
Look up WNS Podcast or Wrestling News Source Podcast on Stitcher and make sure you nominate us. We would certainly appreciate it. For the podcast crew, I'm Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
I'm Doug.
And we'll catch you all in 2014.